Very good morning, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and a special warm welcome to our friends from France. On behalf of the Ministry of Culture, Community and Youth and our Culture Academy, it is a pleasure to jointly host this event with the French Ministry of Culture and Communications and the French Embassy in Singapore. In line with the seminar theme, allow me to share some thoughts on cultural innovation in Singapore. The world today is characterized by continuous disruption. The geo-economic center of gravity is shifting east. While the rise of China is now a familiar tale, the Belt and Road Initiative is a bold and ambitious retelling of the transformative power of the Silk Road for the 21st century. A quieter transformation is happening here in Southeast Asia, as middle-class households are projected to double from 67 to 125 million between 2010 and 2025. Meanwhile, the fourth industrial revolution is pushing ahead with technology transforming our work and lives for the better, but also displacing jobs and heightening uncertainty. Societies are becoming increasingly polarized across visceral lines of race and religion, as well as newer tensions such as economic inequality, immigration, and intergenerational divides. Like our neighbors in Southeast Asia, Singapore is part of a rising Asia. We sit at the crossroads between East and West and have long been an open and connected economy. Today, according to Pew Research, Singapore has the highest smartphone penetration and use of 4G networks globally. At the same time, we are also the most religiously diverse city in the world and one of the most rapidly aging countries in Asia. And while globalization has been a catalyst for Singapore's development, we are more exposed to the challenges that come with it. I would like to suggest 3 strategies for Singapore to successfully seize the opportunities from globalization while avoiding its pitfalls. First, we must continue to embrace innovation and technology to stay relevant. Second, we must strengthen our regional networks, particularly in Southeast Asia, while building on our friendships with the rest of the world. Third, our social and economic policy must help us to bridge differences and make diversity a strength rather than a source of diversion and division. For culture to create opportunity and serve as social ballast in our time, I believe cultural innovation should adopt these 3 same strategies. Let me elaborate. The imperative behind Singapore's Smart Nation initiative also applies to cultural institutions and artistic practice. To remain relevant in a world increasingly inhabited by digital natives, we have no choice but to embrace technological innovation and experiment with different ways of making, presenting, and promoting culture. A number of our artists have tapped on technology to inspire their work. If you have visited the National Museum of Singapore, you would have noticed Suzanne Victor's Wings of a Rich Maneuver, an interactive kinetic artwork made up of more than 14,000 Swarovski crystals, better known as the swinging chandeliers. In the story of the forest, science and art come together. Some 70 drawings from the William Farquhar collection of natural history drawings have been reimagined by TeamLab as an immersive 3D animation experience. This digital installation has prompted a 25% increase in those wanting to see the original drawings in the National Museum galleries. Such successes have paved the way for DigiMuse, a new initiative where the National Museum of Singapore acts as a testbed for collaboration between the technology industry and artists to enhance visitor experience at the museum. These exciting initiatives reflect a fundamental shift in how we as a society consume culture. Technology provides an opportunity to improve audience engagement and to grow new audiences. It opens up potential new partnerships with industry and academia in important areas such as data analytics to understand different audience segments and to better cater to their needs. The second strategy that Singapore has adopted is that of tapping the rich networks in Southeast Asia and the world. the meeting of cultures has given rise to new innovations throughout history. Peranakan culture was born of the maritime Silk Route. The Nanyang-style paintings in National Gallery, Singapore integrate Chinese ink and Western oil traditions. This distinctive blend of East and West was adopted by Singapore artists who trained in both China and Europe and were inspired by the faces and places of Bali, Java, and Malaya as they traveled neighboring lands. At the Venice Biennale last year, Singaporean artist Zai Kuning and his team brought to life an imagined vessel steered by the spirit of the first Malay king, Dapunta Hyang. The 17-meter-long installation of a ship made from rattan, string, and beeswax brings viewers back into the 7th century and immerses them into the stories of the Orang Laut, or sea people, who were indigenous to the Riau archipelago. Through works like this, we are reminded of our shared history as part of the Malay world, while we continue to enrich the culture and identity of modern Singapore. Our cultural ties in the region must be continually renewed, refreshed, and reinterpreted for the 21st century. Hence, it is good to see our performing and visual arts institutions actively exploring closer collaborations with counterparts in the region through joint exhibitions, residencies, showcases, and capability development initiatives. The Asian Civilizations Museum, for example, has designated 2018 as the Year of Southeast Asia, and it's collaborating with international partners in a series of programs and exhibitions. Such initiatives will create greater awareness of the rich cultures within modern Southeast Asia, while strengthening cultural networks and seeding innovation. The third strategy is to explore cultural innovations that bring people together, create inclusive identities, and make diversity a strength. We want Singaporeans from all walks of life to be able to experience the power of the arts, to help us appreciate the other, celebrate our shared heritage and common humanity. And hence, under the Arts and Culture Strategic Review, initiatives like Arts in Your Neighborhood and Passion Arts were deliberately designed to bring the arts and heritage into the community and to reach the man in the street. Today, any Singaporean can easily go to the nearest community center, library, or park to experience or participate in a cultural activity. We are delighted that attendance figures of non-ticketed cultural activities hit over 9.2 million and museum visitorship a record high of over 5.1 million visitors last year. Cultural accessibility is also about making a special effort to reach out to the underprivileged in our communities. Through programs like Art Reach and Heritage Cares, the National Arts Council and National Heritage Board are exploring innovative ways to ensure that all Singaporeans have the opportunity to enjoy the arts and celebrate our heritage. Earlier this year, we introduced our SG Heritage Plan, a national master plan to safeguard and celebrate our shared multicultural heritage. Close to 34,000 people visited the traveling exhibition and website on the draft plan, and many contributed their views, helping us to shape the vision and refine our strategies. They told us that they value our multiracial and multicultural society, our ability to celebrate and enjoy each other's culture, foods, and festivals, and our unique Singaporean lifestyle, such as our hawker center culture, our parks and libraries, where Singaporeans from all walks of life gather and share memories. Given the complexities involved in embracing digitalization, renewing the regional networks, and forging inclusive identities, the government, cultural institutions, artists, and stakeholders will need to work closely together if we are able to advance these strategies successfully in the years ahead. At the same time, we must remain open to the world and to international partnerships. Singapore and France have shared warm cultural relations over several decades, with both our peoples benefiting from joint collaborations over many years. I'm confident that our continued partnership with France will enable both our countries to deepen old friendships and develop new ideas. Over the next 2 days, I hope that this seminar will help us to explore more deeply how cultural innovation can bridge and include rather than divide and exclude. creating enduring value for our societies in a dynamic global environment. Thank you.